Hey friends, I hope the morning's treating you well. It's cold and rainy and I'm out here on the porch just listening to the rain. There's something serious I want to talk to you guys about this morning and I really hope you take it to heart. I mean this in the best ways possible. I made a post on my Patreon and channel members section earlier this week, just giving an update. And I'd gone to the doctor and had a checkup, and I posted on there. I talked about it a little bit, just some anecdotes about the visit, and that everything was fine and nice and healthy or whatever. And then after the fact, there's some comments that came in. There's one in particular that kind of struck me. And this is from Joshua in Pittsburgh. I believe it's from Pittsburgh. He says, glad to hear you're healthy. A folk singer with a doctor's appointment is a rare thing. And I laughed. That's pretty funny. But I thought about it for a little bit, and I thought, man, he's right. All these musicians that I know, like so many people in the arts in general, and maybe it's not just a musician or working class, maybe it's a working class thing is what I'm trying to say. But people just don't go to the doctor and get checkups. And we need to be better about that, especially when you start getting to my age. And I am guilty. I'm absolutely guilty of it. I'm going to make a confession here. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. The only doctor's visit I can remember having in the earlier part of my life is when I was in middle school. I had to get a physical so I could play football. And I went in and got a very basic physical. And then when I was turning 50 years old, I started thinking about a few things. You know, this is a big rounded number of a birthday, a serious, serious birthday. And I was thinking, I want to celebrate the birthday in the most artistic way I can think of. So I made a record sitting on my couch. I recorded an album on my 50th birthday in my living room in East Nashville. It's called Mount Rinrah. That's what I called my home there in East Nashville. And so that out of the way, that was the number one thing I wanted to do. The number two is I thought, man, I've gone all of these years without a basic checkup. And as the years, it was no big deal early on. It wasn't a big deal to me at all. I was mostly single, in and out of short-term relationships or whatever. I didn't have kids. I only have to worry about myself, and it was just easy to blow off. And most of the time I was flat broke, living at one time with 10 other guys in a 2-bedroom apartment. Another time there were 10 of us in a house, and a lot of other versions of lesser number of people. But just me I had to worry about. But when I was turning 50, I just started thinking, I got to get some things checked out, and who knows and you start thinking about it. And maybe sometimes that'll get people not wanting to go to the doctor and get a checkup, what might be wrong with me. So I went to a doctor in Nashville, and she was amazing. I mean, she was so amazing. I walked in, she sat down and talked to me, just me, for it was almost an hour. And she listened, really listened. And I just straight up told her everything. These are things I'm worried about. These are things that hurt. I said, but I'd like to be tested for everything I could be tested for. I'm going to turn 50. Maybe I can clear my conscience. If there's something really bad wrong with me, maybe I can get on top of it. And she arranged for all of these tests to be done. Remember, I had a lot of stuff done, and it was because I wanted to. And I was lucky enough through the healthcare marketplace. Most of it was covered. The first time I'd really had insurance in my life, and definitely the first time. And so there wasn't hardly anything out of pocket. I got a colonoscopy, and when it was all over, it was like, everything's really pretty good with you, Otis. You need to watch this, that. This is a little bit, sketchy, but we can get on top of that. And it was such a relief. It was such a huge, huge relief. But I started talking to friends of mine, and just everybody I knew had similar stories, like so many people. There are people who had real jobs, whatever that is, real jobs, who had great insurance, and maybe they grew up a certain way, so they went to the doctor regularly and got things checked out. But man, so many of my musician friends were just not thinking about anything like that at all. And I just we'd have these conversations, and I've tried to have regular checkups since then, and my last one was, back on Monday, and everything's cool. But also, at this stage of my life, you start losing friends. I mean, I've been losing friends since my 20s, but most of those were explainable with people living way too fast and dangerous. And but getting to the point to where people just kind of pass away. And last year, I had a dear friend who, just a beautiful, beautiful cat that I loved being around. Used to go fishing with him. Really mellow, smart. He was athletic. His brother hit a home run in the World Series. So that tells you about his genes. He probably would have played in the majors if he didn't have an injury. Just a beautiful cat. And when he would cheer for his brother, it was like listening to a Bruce Springsteen song, where that love for his brother. And I hadn't seen him in a little while. One of those people I really missed. And one day I just heard he died of a heart attack. And he was a bit younger than me. I don't think he was very far over 50. And I was just like, how did that happen? What? And they're like, he hadn't been to the doctor in forever. He just never went to the doctor. Tough guy. Maybe just brought up a certain way. I don't know. And they said he felt terrible for a month and never went and had it checked out. And he had a heart attack and died. And it happens all the damn time. And it happens to musicians and artists, mainly because we're too worried about other things or for whatever reason, but we got to get past it. And I want every one of you who are of a certain age, if you haven't gone and had things checked out in a while, go get it checked out. It's cheaper than you think. Your insurance will probably cover it. If you don't have the insurance, it's still worth whatever it's going to cost. Because there's people out there, you might be married, you might have kids, My friend was a dad, breadwinner. People need you. I just started thinking when I was 50, I'd always been alone for so long. And I was like, well, man, me and Amy have been together for a while, and she depends on me, besides loving me and wanting me to be around. How's she going to pay the bills if I'm not around? You start thinking about things like that, and then you start thinking, I got to take care of myself. I got to be responsible. Got to be a man or a woman, whichever situation, just a grown-up individual who is going to do the right thing. And I'm giving you this pep talk, and I hope you take it to heart. I'd love to hear nothing more than a big, long comment section of Otis, I just went to the doctor and I'm healthy. And second best, Otis, I just set up my appointment to go get myself checked out. Because your family needs you, your friends need you, your kids need you. And I need you. If you're not out, if something happens to you, who the hell's going to watch these videos? Who's going to listen to my records? Who's going to show up to the shows? So take this as a very selfish thing. I'm going to go inside and warm up, and I hope you guys are taking this to heart. And I'm going to go drink a little more coffee. Much love to you.